Hey guys, it's Matt Nicholson speaking here, Associate Head Coach with Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. This morning I'm in beautiful Black Falls, Alberta for the AJHL Showcase. I want to just thank the Bulldogs and their staff for allowing me to present to you guys with the coach's site from their offices as opposed to my hotel. So thanks for that. Shout out to Mike Snee from College Hockey Inc., Aaron Wilbur and Justin Kwan, obviously from the coach's site, for asking me to do this. So I'm a guy that loves coaching clinics. I was at the coach's site at Maple Leaf Gardens, I believe, back in the summer of 2016, and then also another in-person event in Toronto. So pre-pandemic, and I was bummed actually I missed the virtual one and the one in Ann Arbor, or the in-person one this year. So I've definitely consumed the content. It's a great site, and just flattered that they'd asked me to present today. So we're going to go through some of the slides and the clips here. It's a bit of a mismatch from my time at Niagara. You're going to see some clips last year where I was at Mercyhurst, and now I'm back, as I mentioned, at Robert Morris University with Coach Derek Schooley, and when I trying to rebuild that program, an institution I was previously at and worked with him from 2009 to 2015. So here we go. Basically, what I want to talk to you guys about today is play away from the puck. And, as the slide says, a lot of the discussion nowadays with play away from the puck centers around the forwards, right? When we're out recruiting, we're chopping up film, we're talking about our own players. But what about play away from the puck from the D, right? Don't forget about those D men. And there's a couple things that I guess I really believe in, some terminology that I use, but you guys can adopt or make it your own, that I think can really help defensemen at any level, but especially at the older levels, the midget level, the junior level, the college, the pro level, even the NHL level. And obviously, when I say guys, I mean guys and girls and whatnot. But these little clips, these little details of foundational structured skill set, I think make a huge difference, right? And as I say, I think everyone can play defense, right? It's just a want factor. Out of this presentation, what I hope to have from you guys is that you'll walk away with a couple things. You're going to learn about what I call the Euro pivot. You're going to learn about the importance, in my opinion, about the offensive blue line and how you set up with dot wide, as I mentioned, through the neutral zone when absorbing rushes, something I call slide and squash. The other point, obviously, is when you're attacking forward, as I call it, where your toe caps are facing the puck. And lastly, box outs, which I think are really a really sneaky and hidden skill that a lot of defensemen, if they could get better at, would definitely improve their game and look better in the eyes of their coaches. So the Euro pivot. And Euro pivot's a coin that I stole, like a lot of us do, from a good friend of mine and skating coach, Marianne Watkins. And what I mean by that is the Euro pivot is your toe caps ideally are facing the puck. And you can make it your own versus, as I call it, the North American way, where, as I was taught, where you go up to hypothetically a cone, you pivot, you spray snow, and your heels come around the cone. Now I have clips, and you'll see it where your toes are going to be facing the puck carrier. So this is the most basic way that I've taught Euro pivot. And we're going to focus in on number 7 here, Jordan Wishman. And as you see, as he goes around this stick, his toe caps, right, are facing, if there's a puck here, are facing the puck carrier. He's not going around old school way where we would see the back of his jersey. So he goes around one way there, planting. And now he goes around the opposite way. So again, the big key here is you're attacking with your toe caps. And if we're on the ice, you'll be able to feel it, but you're going to plant and push and explode back. So that number 7 in his heels are just going to go from this position to straight back. Whereas, how we were taught, a lot of us out there, a lot of us coaches, where we'd come up and when Wishy was going around this cone, we'd probably see his eyeballs right now, not his jersey. So that's the Euro pivot versus the North American way. The first thing I always teach when in terms of, in zone offense, as I refer to IZO or attacking forward here. Another little good drill. So this is with the D, just in a D split. a guy that we had at Robert Morris way back, actually Andrew Blazik, a player, right? You learn a lot from your players as much as you do from other coaches. Had this drill. He came back after he had graduated and played pro. So Blaze, 3 cones, right? Very simple how we name our drills, but up 2, back 1. So again, we just saw the Euro pivot. Now we're going to make it a little harder with the puck, but same thing. The direction you're going to lead with your toe caps or Euro pivot. Right now you go back, it makes it harder. They're handling the puck. Now you have an escape. Up 2, there's 3 cones there. You can't see the last one. Up 2, back 1. And just for positioning purposes, as soon as they get around, if we call this cone 1, cone 2, and you can't see cone 3, when the first player gets around cone 2, you're going to send your next guy. But just a nice little warm-up drill. Again, challenges their feet, right, and what they learn mentally to put it into practice, and also their hands and escapes. Okay, see it the other way. What you do one way, you got to do the other. Tacking forward with the toe caps. Great job keeping their head up, handling the puck. Up 2, back 1, and escapes. Little details, again, that you don't think about but are huge in terms of gameplay. The dot wide is again, this is just a belief that I have. I think that it's a huge factor in terms of setting up to set your gap. And so what I mean by that is a strong side D is going to be kind of in no man's land, right in that upper corner of the blue line. And your weak side D is, I use the dot wide. You don't physically have to be right in line with the dot, but pretty close. And I think you're going to see why that's important just in terms of setting your gap. As I mentioned, the dot wide, I think, has a lot of benefits, not only defensively, but in the offensive zone as well, in terms of pinching with heels on the wall, holding pucks in, getting to loose pucks, etc. So you practice like you play. So here's a clip here. We're just doing some forechecking drills back at Niagara. And as you see, I was mentioning no man's land. Okay, in this area, we have a little bit of a pre-pinch with our D in this specific drill, but our other D, our weak side D, is in line with that dot. Similar day of practice, but we're doing another little in-zone drill. And again, you have to make these guys do it or else they get lazy. So you have your strong side D in the no man's land. You have the D on the weak side, the dot. And a big thing, again, time and space is everything. Feet on or above the blue line is what I like to teach, right? It makes it a lot harder for that attacking forward to get to you versus if you're sitting in here, now he's making his job easier, which obviously we don't want to do against the opposition. So a couple things. Anytime a puck goes low to high, just in general for the D, there's 3 things that are going to usually happen. They're going to return the puck on the net, they're going to go D to D, or they're going to return it back down the wall, right? And this will come into play when we get to our box outs. But as we see with our weak side D set up here, if a puck shot or auto rim out or whatever squirts over here, it's a lot easier to come down and get that puck than if we were in line, let's say, with the short side post. So you're going to see it here. As a puck moves sides, again, good job by our weak side D. That was our strong side comes over. And again, just watching for these little details, make sure that they're doing it right. Okay, so there's the example that I said. That puck there, right, return to the net, he misses the net. Ideally, we want to score, right? We want to get it on net, but good news is he got it below the goal line, and now our weak side D is on that puck. Okay, here's an example just from the game last year. We're in green with Mercyhurst playing Canisius. Nordy gets a puck, as I said, trying to return it to the net. We have Cade Townend dot wide. He's a little bit in there in terms of the positioning, but again, I would argue if he was set up near side post, I'm not sure that we come up with possession with that puck. And as you can see, Cade makes a great read. Riley St. Ange pops out. We have 3 high. And right there, you get a decent, maybe not a grade A, but a B scoring chance from positioning on your offensive blue line. Okay, this is a clip from a couple years ago, prior to Woodcroft staff coming in that I had for a prior presentation. I thought it would be good on this one too. And you see the difference that you saw from Townend against Canisius, where this D is, as I mentioned, lined up in the weak side. And a lot of times when D get themselves into trouble, it's because they're afraid. Okay, they're just like everyone. We're all human. You don't want to be embarrassed. The D pull out because they're afraid they're going to get beat. And I think, again, I really believe in when you're strong side and you can come in, it makes it a lot easier to set your gap, to ride across. But you'll see this defenseman here from Vermont, he exits. And now right there, you can see it's almost, they're in a hinge position, which is not what you want when you're absorbing a rush. Look at all that gap that he's given up to the offensive team with Maine. One thing we're going to get to later, we'll talk about the slide and squash. But again, now they've set their gap poorly, and Maine is able to enter easily into the zone. And now our goaltender has to make a save. Okay, so going back last year, we have Devon Daniels here, veteran D for us. Devo in this situation, going to show you two clips where his momentum, again, details, right? Watch his heels. They're going east-west. They're going towards the boards, right? His man is this guy right here. That's who he's concerned about. And already the puck is deep in the corner. And now we have a weak side D outside of the zone. I would argue, and you're going to see a little bit better of a clip, that if he's patient out here, he can still skate in, swing in, and ride across if he needs to, and just set his gap.
Canisius.
So same game about 2 minutes later. Whether I can't remember if we spoke to him on the bench about that or he self-corrects, but he does a better job here. Even that little detail, as you see right there, he's crossing over, he's going in, his momentum is going in, stepping in versus back. And it's you'll see
face-off for Mercy here, still go against.
Pretty good gap there in the neutral zone. All right, so another clip we have here, right? Canisius and White exiting the zone. We have a freshman D here that joined us at Christmas. So again, he's kind of proverbial drinking out of a water hose, getting acclimated. But you'll see a clip coming up. His first step is back. He's crossing over, right? His momentum is going away from the middle of the ice. The middle of the ice is the good ice. We want to protect that. If he takes those steps in and starts going forward, you're going to see in this clip it would end up a lot better. And it's funny, I think, again, anyone that played, growing up, I would say probably below 2005, just a D. I remember being in practice and you do these one-on-one drills and the coaches would blast you, if you were skating backwards and pivoted before the red line. I personally believe that as a defenseman now, there's limited backward skating. You don't even have to be a great backward skater. Of course, you do absorb rushes, but the more that you can attack forward and skate forward, which is our natural inclination as hockey players, whether you're D or forward or goalie, you're always starting going forward. So in this case, if Dusty had gone forward and now his posture, he's riding across on the Canisius player, you can see right now he's behind him. And we give up a grade A right there. Okay. Here's a better example of right across, a little bit better video angle. So again, our D roughly set up dot wide. Okay, and now his first momentum is in. He's going to this forward right here, ironically for Mercyhurst, when he's at Niagara, doesn't see our defenseman at all right now. So I would say that's a pretty good gap. If you're this winger right here, you look up, this is happening, you're probably not passing him that puck, which then obviously allows our guys on the back check or tracking to catch up. So you see the differences between setting yourself up going in and riding across. And again, really good gap. I don't know where they're going to put that puck. We probably come back with it. Last year, same thing. Now we have a veteran D, Nordy. And it's not perfect, but hey, he's communicating with our forwards. His toe caps are going in. We have two guys in the zone. He corrects himself, but pretty good gap. So again, one of the most important parts, I think, when doing a presentation, my favorite part when attending any clinic, is all the stuff that you get to go home with, right? And I think that's why it's important to show practice clips. So that last clip that you saw with our freshman D and our veteran D, this is a drill. We called it 2-3 get back. So just a drill where you're going to have two forwards. You're going to pass it wide. This forward is going to come up, skate north at about half speed. These guys are going to work on tracking to get the puck back as forwards. And this allows your D, again, the strong side D, we want to try it if the puck is coming out of the zone, take your first steps in, flip to backwards, right? You have your weak side D coming in. And again, notice how our weak side D is coming in with the toe caps. Now we're setting our gap. We like this because we have 2D inside the dots. And then we work on a little bit of a transition drill here too. So first touch D, a lot of coaches preach this, right? He's going to jump into the rush. So now we're going to have our entries, our wide guy, our dot driver, our dot wide, and you're going to see our D follow up. So again, a little detail, 2-3 get back drill works on stripping pucks for forwards, but also from this defensive perspective, allows our D to work on the subtleties. And again, I just wanted to go back to that Dusty clip there. So you just saw the drill. Chris Harper for Niagara comes in, sets his gap, would be able to ride across and have the Canisius player here. Again, just a little difference there. Clip last year, we played Miami of Ohio. So here it kind of illustrates, I mentioned at the very beginning, the Euro pivot versus the North American way that we were all taught. So here a D from Miami, you see, comes up in transition. It's very, very subtle. So he's coming up, trying to gap up, and he goes the old school way. He sprays snow. He's giving up gap. You can see his heels and his numbers facing outside, which he's going to expose, obviously, the middle of the rink here, which they want to protect. You can see that gap he started here. Now he's outside that dot. And kind of like a drunken sailor has to come back through. And it doesn't hurt him here. I give him credit, right? He re-engages, but he started here. And now he's given up this gap. And again, I would argue, had he come up and Euro pivot, he'd be able to still set his gap and be tighter with his D. Okay, I like his posture, right? Some triangulation. They have their long sticks. Just make sure we're not leaning on our toes too much. They're the forward picking him up. And if we're counting numbers, which I think, again, is huge, right? There's 5 Miami guys versus 3 Mercyhurst. That's a good ratio for them. Nothing really bad, I believe, happened here. But again, how you set your gap, D, is super, super important. And coaches, again, we have to reinforce this all the time. So the next kind of nuance that I really believe in is the slide and squash. So typically the slide and squash is going to happen when D are in the neutral zone, and like the slide says, it's usually when you're absorbing 3-on-2 or an odd man rush, 4-on-2, etc. And the key here is anytime the puck is moved, east, west, west, east, left, right, right, left, whatever your verbiage is going to be, the strong side D is getting into the puck carrier. The weak side D is going to come over and get into the dot driver. And obviously you're going to ask, well, that leaves the weak side forward, the dot wide guy, wide open. Yes, it does. Just like any system, you're going to have to give up something. But at that point in time, you know now it's very easy that the last forechecker or your first guy tracking back is going to pick him up. Also, from a goaltending perspective, again, this isn't the only way to play, but it's a way that I've seen success. One of our last years that I was with Niagara, we had dropped our goals against by 0.84, which, again, we want to defend. Playoff hockey, NCAA hockey, the goals are tight. So I just, again, it's something I believe in. But the flip side is, saying, hey, you're going to leave a guy wide open. Yes, it is. But the goaltender is going to know that your strong side D is going to get into that puck carrier. Your weak side D is coming over. So from an offensive standpoint, that player has to make a skill play through 1D, through 2D, get it to the far side so the goalie can be set, and now he knows where to move over. A lot of guys, right, it's very simple, the structures and systems in hockey. Everybody's entering usually with, 3 in the dot lane, the driver, the puck carrier, and adding a 4th. So again, I think this can, as a general tactic, it'll help you coaches and us defend against a lot of different guys. Okay, attacking forward. So we just talked about slide and squash, and attack forward is, the yin yang, the cousin, the brother of the slide and squash. What typically, as it says, the attacking situation is going to happen where you're having to re-gap, you're having to gain lines in the neutral zone, blue to blue, red line, or high in your D zone. So again, attacking forward and sliding squash, or yin yang, the brother, but the sliding squash right here, we call it flyers, 3-on-2 drill. So you can do it at both ends. Puck starts in the middle, can be moved east-west, but again, you see your D, you have to make them set their gap. Okay, they're stationary right now, but as soon as that puck is moved, they're getting into the puck carrier. You'll see here. So again, strong side D's into the puck carrier, good posture, stick on puck. Our weak side D is into the dot driver. Again, a lot of teams are entering puck carrier, dot driver, wide dot guy. And again, you're trying to make a skill play through one guy, two guys, three guys. In this clip, our D-man Cookie gets it, okay, just like we thought would happen. But it was all started by our strong side D, Brant, getting into the puck carrier there. Now you're going to have a second puck. Now it's more game-like, where there's some speed attacking forward. Same thing, you can see that our D come up with it. So again, just a little drill, very simple. You can do it at both ends, but seem to be effective and work for us. Okay, this one, again, another drill, just a 3/4 ice drill. Now we've backed it up from half ice to 3/4 ice. Okay, 3 above, 3 below, we called it. Again, puck always starts in the middle, gets kicked to the left winger here. And our defenseman, again, is going to slide and squash. Attack forward, slide and squash. And now we have the driver, weak side D getting him. And now we've added more game like, where now it's very easy, right? The communication, the forward can pick him up. And even the goaltender knows if there's a shot coming, it's from the outside. If it's slipped or hooked in here, our D is going to squeeze. And if they make a skill play wide, he can plant and set. A lot of times, too, you're going to see when we transition to the next phase of this presentation about the attack forward. When you attack forward as a defenseman, you can see it in this clip right here with the opposing forward. A lot of times they know they're going to get hit, right? People don't usually like to take contact. And so even if you're not trying to blow him up, but go through his hands, separate the man from the puck is going to either be moved out of his hands where you can get it back, or in this situation, you can see the player under duress forces a play. So more good than bad I've seen happen by attacking forward, sliding and squashing, and they're kind of interchangeable here. Makes a nice play right there. Again, sometimes you got to give them credit where credit's due, but oftentimes that play is killed. Obviously, we'd have a goalie usually that we'd hope would bail us out there. So now a clip from last year. Okay, 2-part clip, a little humor at the end here, and again, there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever suits your decor and your team. But I would argue on this play here, the puck started in the middle. It's moved to the right wing side. And again, I know numbers are huge, right? So right now I count 4 green versus 2 white. So 4 green Mercers versus 2 white. I understand why the D are absorbing the rush, right? However, I would argue if you get into this puck carrier here and he even starts to move over a little bit, I'm not sure that play, that grade A is made right there. Okay, again, there's many ways to defend, but just with our theme today of sliding and squashing, I think if you take the time and space away, especially with a D that long, I don't know that this play happens. Now, the humor side, I have to show this. You want to get 4 guys in the rush. There's our freshman D, Dusty. He's doing a great job jumping, but we need somebody back. So I don't know. I don't know that this is going to work, a new system, but we got 5 guys in the rush. I wouldn't recommend that. And luckily, one of our senior D, Doogie, comes back and gets the guy. But just a little humor to end that. But it started with our presentation here with the lack of the slide and squash that gave us a grade A. Okay, same thing here. Pucks moved. Again, just showing, development clips where they need to be corrected. We'll show some good stuff here. That puck moves. Ideally, we want him into that puck carrier. Cade's going to get the dot driver. Marco has the wide guy. And then our forward, you saw that drill, right? The communication. He gets a little puck focused here. That's not his guy. His guy is right here. We're good. I see good numbers, 4-on-4. But now we give up a grade A. Similar to Miami, right? Had we slide and squash, like I was saying, they might have. I don't know that now you've seen 2 scoring chances. I think those are negated. Okay, so here's probably a clinic on the slide and squash. You have 2 senior defensemen, right? Look at this gap. Unbelievable gap, right? Quarter, half a zone. Good long stick, good posture. The puck's moved, and our D gets into the guy, and now we get the puck. Same thing, same pair. Again, they played together for a couple of years during my time at Niagara. Veteran D, very attention to detail. Puck is moved east to west. We have the slide and squash on. And again, what did I tell you before in practice? It's an errant pass versus RIT. But again, when a D's barreling down on that forward, they don't usually like it. Good things typically happen, meaning the puck is usually out of their hands, whether it's punted north or you take the puck. Okay, so whether you're a D or a forward, you have to be able to play the position. What if a D's up in the rush and you're forward and you have to be back? So this is a little warm-up drill we do when I was at Niagara called the fin angle drill. So as you see, 2 lines. Inside doesn't have a puck. Outside just, getting your feet going down the ice, getting a wide shot if you get one on the goalie. But the key here is the inside guy is going to take a great angle, try to attack forward, toe caps, good stick. See it here at this end. Great angle, great stick on puck, and it kills it. So sometimes it's not a very fun drill if we're doing it right from a defensive standpoint for a goaltender. But again, the nuance is the attacking forward of this drill. And again, it's a great little warm-up drill, but again, you got to play like you practice. Oftentimes, honestly, our schedule is very busy in terms of recruiting, but if you can ever watch a team or a guy practice, I think there's a lot of value in that because you see his habits, and obviously from coaching's perspective, you get to see some new drills. So here's one. Again, you can do it at both ends. Not super intensive, but works on the little details. Carolina 1-on-1, so you see the D breaks the puck out to the forward, and then right away he's establishing stick on puck and getting his gap. And like I said, slide and squash and attack forward are interchangeable. They're cousins, they're brothers with each other, and it's important to keep working on it. So a little drill that we called Lowell 1-on-1. Our head coach, Jason Lammers at Niagara at the time in his years in UMass Lowell, brought this one over. Great little drill, and also it's a bit of a bag skate, to be honest. The guys like it, but after a while, they definitely get tired. And as you see, we don't even have a goaltender in here, right? You don't even need a shooter tutor. Again, you're working on the defensive posture. It's a battle. Stick on puck, so the defending guy's got to attack forward, good stick, get it back to his line, and you're working on, again, attack forward, good stick, and having fun. Obviously, practice in hockey should be fun. Okay, transitioning right to games 5 1-on-1 battles. So now we're building part to whole. You saw the fin angle, you saw the Lowell 1-on-1. Now a little Swedish neutral zone transition. Okay, so again, 2 guys starting same side. They're going to get a puck from the coach. 2 guys are going to gap up. Okay, working on their angle. And we're going to see this clip before, right? So one of our defensemen at the time, I call it snapping your head. So when you think about a baseball center fielder, right fielder, left fielder, puck, ball's over his head. He's running. He looks one way. He's got to look over the other. So yes, attacking forward, sometimes you're going to get beat. Things happen. But what we like here is he re-engages, right? Instead of going, again, I talk old school up, spray snow, absorb, give up gap. Now you're on top of your goalie. He challenges his feet, attacks forward, doesn't work out, But again, you're more likely, right? We're all taught to skate forward. You're more apt to be a better forward skater than backward anyway. He reattacks and does a really good job engaging the puck carrier. Okay, so building again, part the hole, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, now 3-on-3. We got a three-quarter ice drill. Offense attacks against defense. Defensive team gets the puck back to their guys. The offense turns into defense. So the purple had just been the offensive team lost the puck. And again, we're seeing a nice attack forward. Game clip, right? Good practice clips are great where you guys want to see, okay, how does this look like in the game? So again, Miami played them last year in January. See our defenseman here, Kate Townen, is going to gap up. Okay, another way you can think about it, coaches, that is very simple as gaining lines, right? Every rink's going to have a blue line, a red line, and a blue line. So when D here, gap, 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 that's all I heard growing up. You know to get up in the play, but I think players are visual. People are visual, especially if you know a guy who learns like that. Just think, hey, try to gain lines. Get as close to that next line as you can, and that'll help, set the gap. So errant pass, but again, we're in a great position if it were to be there. Okay, beginning of the year, first game, I believe, at the Gophers. And our captain, he toe picks it here, Pierce Crawford. But again, point, as I said before, you just saw it. We're showing a couple different clips to make sure that it works here. Minnesota D comes over. That puck's he's either going to go through his hands and engage our forward, or as you see, a little bit of a toe pick, but the puck's out of his hands. And now there are other players on it. But again, attacking forward. Okay, back to our veteran D here. Okay, again, a lot of the attack forward, the slide and squash, is going to happen in the neutral zone, right? Blue line to blue line, red line, or high in your D zone when you're gaining lines. Okay, good job. Stick on puck. We like the numbers, right? We see 2 white versus 1 blue. Ironically, it's when I was at Niagara versus Robert Morris. Okay, good job. And in this clip, when I was cutting it, is just for, I know it's not a forward session here, a forward clip, but cutbacks are really hard to defend. If you're a defenseman, you can attest to that. So forwards or coaches, we work on it too. We're working on cutbacks, right? If a D has the counter to this, right? If you can get out of it and he doesn't get the puck, cut back. The RMU player does a good job getting away from our guy. Now we'll take that shot from that angle. But again, good job attacking forward, and you got to tip your hat to the cutback there. Same defenseman now at RIT, beautiful building they have there. Okay, again, attacking forward. And what did I say? Usually the puck, when you attack forward, is going to get out of their hands. So now they've had possession, and now it's a 50-50 puck, you could argue, on a rim, but it's out of their hands. They don't have possession on entry. Again, Wishy attacked forward, gained the zone. This one I'm just showing, again, remember I said it happens in the neutral zone. So again, a lot of guys get flat-footed, right? Transition happens, winger, center bobbles the puck. D, what do? Don't go up and go back and go old school, spray snow. When you think about that too, if I'm attacking forward to a forward that's going at me, the advantage is him. I want to defend my net behind me, and I'm going towards him, spraying snow, slowing myself down while he's going this way. It's like a boxer. I realize that, at times you're going to have to use both. You can't just throw with your right if you're a boxer. You got to go with left and right, engage a situation. So, of course, you're going to use both. But again, I just think that the attack forward, Euro pivot, slide and squash, all the things we're talking about are going to be more efficient, which is key, in the game today. So again, great stick on puck, great posture, trying to go through the hands, and they end up getting the puck. So here's a little clip. 2 things right now that I notice, right? I don't see any green D in the screen. A little bit the camera angle, but again, we want to establish the gap, a little tighter gap. And now, if you remember, I'm going to show you the clip next out of practice where you can snap your head. So, okay, things happen, right? It's moved. Again, we talked about entries. puck carrier, driver, wide guy. Very standard. I would want in this situation, if we to do this over, RD with Mercier's last year, again, to engage his puck carrier. So again, we go a little bit old school, right? Giving up time and space, and now they've entered the zone and are now below our goal line, and we're having to play D zone. Where I think if we go and get that puck carrier, he's done. We don't even have to give up a shot. Okay, so again, you've seen this clip, but just like we saw, what I would have wanted, remember we snapped ahead there. He came up like the center fielder was beat and came back, and that's where the clip you just saw, where I think that had we done that, we wouldn't have given up that shot last year. The last thing that I want to talk about here is box outs. So box outs happen again to the lay fan all the time. Every face-off in your defensive zone, the 2D are you're getting into, or we say getting skin with the offensive forward, especially if your guy loses the puck and you have to defend. Anytime, again, we mentioned in the beginning, going low to high, there's three things that a D is going to do: return it to the net, D to D, or back down the wall. So knowing that as a defenseman, if it does go low to high and there's a shot on goal, it goes D to D, it's imperative that you have that mentality like a lineman and you want to box out and get into your forward. So last clip here, just boxing out, okay, showing the difference here between getting, if you're on your strong side, your weak side, getting your glove into the crest of the player, if you're on your butt end or glove side, or as I say here, pitchforking and getting the stick up. And obviously you want that pitchfork to stick up because you don't want them to get a little tip or redirect. So you can focus on any circle here, but it's very basic. You're going to put a dot or a puck on a dot, and you're going to have both players either do strong side or weak side, glove in the crest, okay, or under the stick. And we're going to work on this before practice. Again, boxing out, a little simple drill, working on both sides. You're going to see it here. They did the stick on the one, and now they did the crest on the other. Okay, again, drills, Gensel box out, taking this from a drill from the Gophers. Puck's going to go low to high, D to D and shot. This is D on D warfare here. And we talk about as soon as that puck's moved, getting 2 touches. You want to engage and physically touch the forward twice. And again, I mentioned being a lineman, you don't want to get him, let that forward get to the dot. And then the puck changes sides. It's going to go low to high again. Low to high. The D is going to engage, right? Talk about time and space. Don't wait for him to come to the net. Engage him. 2 touches, D to D. Good job there. No issues. Now you want to involve your forwards. You can do low to high, same drill, the Gensel, but now you're adding in forwards. They have to battle to get to the net. And then whistle goes, a little transition here. You're working on your track, working on your neutral zone transition, and then absorbing. And again, putting it all together. There we have our D. Great gap, gaining lines, both attacking forward, setting the gap. All right, last few clips here for you guys. Getting skin off a draw is a box out. Okay, this defenseman does not do that. Little detail nobody probably noticed, but watch the main forward absolutely blow up his partner here. And again, a little detail. And I guess Karma got the other D because he gets blown up here too. But just a little bit of a bad clip, I guess, of not getting skin. Again, same thing. We're out recruiting defensemen. You're looking for guys to make your team. Watch the intensity off of face-offs. Again, box out. That's his guy right here. And now he ends up net front. 3 things D's going to do. He chooses to get it to the net. And that's probably a scary play for a coach. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. Again, little nuances, Euro pivot, the dot wide, slide and squash, attack forward, and box outs, I think are paramount to defending well in today's game.